Well, welcome back. The Gift of Being Different is a new children's book written by a mother-daughter duo. It's inspired by personal experience with dyslexia and celebrates kids' strengths and how they learn. And joining us this morning to share more about the book is author Monica Berg. Monica, good morning to you, and thanks for being here.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Well, let's jump right into this book. It was inspired by your co-author and daughter, Abigail. Tell us a little bit more about how you guys got this book to life.
Well, I'm very inspired by all four of my children, and I often say I have just as much to learn from them as I do teach them. So when Abigail was struggling in school, at first we had a hard time diagnosing her and really discovering what was at the root of that. She struggled with reading and writing and forming sentences, but her critical thinking was way beyond her years and that of her peers. So when we finally got her diagnosed with dyslexia, I started to notice that it was chipping away at her self-esteem. And one day she came to me as I was rushing, getting ready to go out, and she was brushing her teeth before bed, and she said, "Mommy, do I need so much extra help in school because I'm stupid?" And I thought, there is no child of mine that's going to grow up with that voice in their head. I felt so privileged and honored that she felt comfortable enough to share this with me, because I didn't feel that at her age, right? To really go to my parents about certain things. And so we had this deep and powerful conversation. And what inspired me so much is that she was able to rethink how she thought about the way she learns and how she feels about herself within a day. And the next day she went around to everybody in our family, to our relatives, to our friends, and said, "I have a superpower, it's dyslexia, what's yours?" So that's really what I thought, wow, if we can do this together, what can we do for other children and families and schools across the world?
And now that she has that superpower, so many people have that superpower out there and don't even know it. So discovering it is first and foremost, getting her to feel comfortable about it. But what guidance do you have for other parents to talk about being different? There's a lot of differences out there, and kids can truly be kind of cruel sometimes with that.
Absolutely. My advice to parents, first and foremost, is to check yourself and see if you have any fear around this. Often we look at our children and we want to save them from many hardships that we went through or insecurities we went through as children. And so our first reaction is to protect them. And often then we ignore what might be right in front of us. So first, check if you have any fear around what you see in your child, what their difference might be, whether it's academically or socially or emotionally or anything, right? And then give them the space and the permission to talk about it. You know, sometimes parents say to me, I actually had one mother come to me saying that all three of her children had different, I don't want to say disabilities, but different learning struggles. And she never spoke to them about it. And they were different ages, you know, one was 9, 10, 8, whatever the case may be. And she didn't speak to them, but they were getting extra help. So I said to her, well, if they're getting extra support and you're not having this conversation, then somehow they might be feeling shame about being different. So that's the first thing. Check about how you feel about it. The second is to get informed, right? When you have information, then you can find solutions and approach it that way. So I think that when we feel comfortable with something and we look for information and then allow space for a child to come to us, then from that space, anything can change, right? Because consciousness is changeable. But first, we have to be aware of what our own is so we can help elevate our child's.
Yeah, and it's definitely interesting how this comes around full circle, how our child educates us, like your daughter coming to you and feeling okay about talking about it. I know it's hard for some parents, so this will give them something to think about to open the two-way street. So what is next for you and your little Abigail?
Well, thank you for asking. Our second book, it's a series of 10 books. It's the On Being series. So our second book, Tale of the Other Glove, is coming out in the spring. And that is also, each book talks about an issue that is currently going on in the world. This one is about unhoused people. And then the counterpart of how to deal with that is empathy, right? How much we can help a group of people if we feel empathy for them. So Abigail's on adventures in New York City there, where she comes across an unhoused person, and you hear her whole transformation and her rethink moment on how she understands that that person once had a home and had a family and had food on their table. How did they get to this place where they don't even have one? So another powerful book, and we'll love to share that when that's ready.
Well, we'll look forward to that. Monica Berg, The Gift of Being Different. Thank you so much for sharing your story and your daughter's challenges that have come given her superpowers.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.